What's going on, guys? So today we're gonna talk about, I talked about yesterday about how to market yourself off of on social media. Today we're gonna talk about how to market yourself off of social media as a small brand. So right now I'm only got about maybe like 200 subscribers on YouTube. I got 1,700 followers on Instagram, maybe like 20 on Facebook because I just started posting on Facebook, like 300 on TikTok, like nothing crazy. But I know how to, even if I'm not able to scale to like $5,000, $10,000, $20 a week or whatever, I know how to make money. The most I've ever made probably in like a day is like $1,000. And the way that I've done that is by pop-ups. You know, pop-ups have been big for me because you're just, in essence, you're paying for the people's traffic. And I made a video before about pop-ups, which I might add the link to that. But if not, it's on my page. And pretty much with pop-ups and how to make it off social media, it's a person-to-person thing. So at the end of the day, it's kind of about the numbers. Like, it's how many people can you get in contact to? You know what I'm saying? First off, I had a product that when I started making candles, I was like, this is something that I believe people that I know need. And it's something that I want to do. I like candles, but I'm like, man, I got a lot of women in my life that like candles. I got a lot of homeboys in my life that like candles. I'm going to start making candles. So when I first started making candles, it was more of a person-to-person thing, like friends and family. Now, the only thing about that is when you're making candles and products that last a long time, it might not be as frequent. But when they do buy, it could be like a bulk order or something like that. So I would say when you're thinking about a business or a product or idea, you know, think about something like that. Like, okay, how often will they buy this? You know, am I okay if they don't buy this every week, every month or whatever? You know, because some products you might, like toilet paper, paper towels, or whatever, like they got to buy that all the time. You know, but candles, that's more of a luxury item. They might not buy it all the time, but you can also charge for the price point because that's more of a luxury item depending on the quality of candles you make. So right now, I sell my candles anywhere from maybe like 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks. I say 20 bucks to like 45 bucks. That's like my range for candles. If I'm doing a sale, it might be 15 to 35 bucks. You know what I mean? Eventually, I'm going to raise that price point up some more. But right now, I think a lot of people, you know, do it. So how did I make $1,000 at pop-up? So like I said, it's getting to where the people are. So I've done a pop-up at my last job. I was working at a nightclub or restaurant and lounge. And I did one for, I think it was Valentine's Day. It was either Valentine's Day or Mother's Day weekend. So I set up like a Friday and a Saturday. And then, you know, I had clientele because people coming there all the time. They knew I was a manager and they say, oh, you do candles too? Yeah, bro, I do candles. So it had to be Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, get you something for your girl. Or I might do a sale, 2 for this, whatever, buy one, get one. I had a lot of staff. So I would, interact with them that way. So you kind of go where people that you know go. Another way that I've done it is, like I said, with the pop-ups, I'll go to, you know, depending on the size of the event, you have to, worry about price point per traffic. So I don't mind paying more for an event if I know I'm going to get the traffic that I need. Sometimes people go to these big festivals and stuff and you pay all this money and you might not get the return that you're looking for because it might not be the demographic that you think. But sometimes you just have to try. So I think last October I did and I posted it on here. It was at the fairgrounds or something. It was an event that I never did. I didn't really know nothing about it, but it was like a 2-day event. They only wanted like $75. And I was like, bro, $75 for a 2-day event, you're not going to find that. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I did it, and I think I made like 900 bucks. You know what I'm saying? 800, 900 bucks. And that's just by like having my tent set up. And then I had a homeboy of mine who he's better sometimes at talking to people than I am, because sometimes I don't want to talk, and you can't, it's hard to do that in this business, but sometimes it's like, I'm a smile, I'll keep it short. But he's the type of person, hey, y'all want to come over here and sell, he'll sell you. I'm not really an I'll sell you kind of person. But anyways, you know, he was just kind of talking to people, interacting with people. And that's one thing you got to do too, is you kind of got to interact with people. I do think if your setup is like super dope, or if it brings people in, then that's better than you trying to go out and pull people in. Another thing is sometimes giving people samples, like, hey, here's a sample of this, here's a sample of that. And then you kind of just got to work it. So for that particular event, it wasn't a high traffic event, but at the same time, $75 for 2 days, I got more of a chance to like talk to people and interact with people, because you see these people walking around and they're looking, and you say things like, oh, I see you looking, like, is there a favorite thing that you like, you know, or hey, you can come get I tell the kids, come in, you guys can smell it for free, touch it for free, you know, see, and you just talk to the, you know, parents, hey, this is all natural, you know, this is what's in the ingredients, whatever, you know, is there something that you like specifically? And they would say, oh, well, no, I'm not. So are you a citrus person? Are you a floral person? Yeah, I like citrus. Okay, well, these are my citrus options. You know what I'm saying? I got them in small, medium, large, whatever. You know, you can take your time and you can peruse. And like I said, it's all natural, so it's healthy for the kids. It's healthy for, like, you just talk to them once you get them in. So it's just getting them in and then just talking to them. And then after that, if you see them like standing there for a while and they kind of just looking and they thinking, to me it's like, okay, you thinking about buying, but you might have seen the price point. And say, you know, hey, you know, usually I do this for 35, but today I'm doing it for 25. Well, you know how they be haggling you tomorrow. Hey, you papa, you know, for you, $40. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do something like that. For you, 35 right now, $35.99. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like you do that and you talk to them. You build rapport with them, you know, ask them how they did. You just kind of find ways to keep the conversation going. And then, like I said, if you see them like looking, then you know, okay, you got, I can get you. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't always want to spend money, but in the back of their mind, they want to spend money, especially if they're going to pop-ups and stuff. So try the pop-ups. I also, when looking for pop-ups, you could do local pop-ups as far as like small time to kind of get your reps in. That's what I did. Like, I did like really small pop-ups where it might be like in a community, or like a church was doing it, or like you know, back to school event, or, you know what I'm saying, a school thing, different things like that. I tried that just to get my reps in, you know, to get better at it. You might get $200, $300 or whatever, but I don't think there's ever been a day at a pop-up where I have not left with more than what I came with. You know what I'm saying? There are slow days. There are slow events, and as you get your reps in, you start to know, okay, this event is slow, this event is fast, whatever. And then at that point, you can gauge, okay, I know that if I do $500 today, if I do that 3 more times this month, I got, you know what I'm saying, $2,000, right? So then you can kind of gauge, okay, how much do I want to make? How much can I make? So it's finding pop-ups, it's getting the reps in, trying the ones that you've heard about. Facebook is another way that I found pop-ups. Is on Facebook, because my mom would send me stuff on Facebook groups, and I wasn't on Facebook as much at that time, so I didn't really know people had those Facebook groups with all these different events, and you can kind of sign up for the ones that you think you want versus the ones that you don't want. Now where I'm at, I can still do small events. I'm not knocking those. I will if I need to, but I'm trying to find more events where I can pay to play. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a bigger event and I know that if I pay, I can pretty much walk home with a guaranteed amount of money, I'll do that. Like, if I know I got to pay $150, but I can walk away with $700, $800, $600, whatever, I'm okay with that, because I'm still making 5 times what I made. You know what I'm saying? And I know, okay, if I do this event consistently, I can make X amount of dollars, along with, you know, personal references, along with building my social media as well. So these are some ways that you can make money offline. If you have any questions, or it's a video that you want to know, you know, drop it in the comments. Like I said, I'm a candle maker. I've been making candles now about 6 years. I ain't saying I got rich off of candles yet, but as a small brand and somebody who's just starting, I know that I probably know more things than you might know. And so I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? I make candle making videos as well. You guys can check those out. But I just want to talk about that today. Any questions, any comments, drop it below. And, you know, you can like, follow, subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. Till the next time. Peace.